Manny Rockhold and Leonard Lee on the front row. Peter Murphy and Jason Johnson on row 2. Randy Anderson, Len Thompson on row number 3. Matt Morrow and Todd Gracie on row 4. John Vandenberg and Larry Pinniger on row number 5. Then Ronald Laney, Kevin Fry, Linton Jeffrey, Brent Antill, Dwayne Bonini Jr., Christy Passmore, Larry Ball Jr., Mark Taves, Travis Cram, John Hagan, Craig Kinzer, and Brian Ellenberger.
Field slowly into turns 3 and 4 now. Expect the pace to quicken very soon as we get set for a green flag. Doug Clark waves the silk cloth and we're underway. Trouble into turn number 1. Christy Passmore is upside down, collects Craig Kinzer. Kinzer able to drive away.
Larry DeCrife waves the green flag and we're racing.
Rockhold through the middle of the speedway. Leonard Lee up on the cushion. That's the battle for the lead. Down the backstretch, they're nose to tail. Rockhold has it. Leonard Lee running second, side by side for third between Jason Johnson and Peter Murphy.
Also side by side racing for the 5th spot as now Len Thompson grabs hold of 5th. Here comes Matt Morrow moving by Randy Anderson. Morrow now looks to the bottom side of Len Thompson into Anderson on the high side.
Randy Anderson makes a nice move around the 33 of Matt Morrow. Now ducks to the inside of Lightning. Len Thompson gets up high, nearly catches the wall, hangs onto it. The boss has moved up.
Randy Anderson, holy cow, way up on the high side again in turn 2. Down the back straightaway, he'll ride 5th. Your leader off turn 4, Manny Rockhold shows the way.
It's Rockhold leading it, and Leonard Lee in second. Jason Johnson third. Peter Murphy fourth. Randy Anderson down to the high side of the speedway trying to take the 5th spot from Larry Pinniger. Gets it done out of turn number 2.
Larry Pinniger and Randy Anderson battle side by side in turn 4. Pinniger to the bottom side of Anderson, down the front straightaway. Anderson with the advantage racing into turn 1. Here comes Pinniger up the racetrack to the cushion. Todd Gracie off the pedal in turn 4. He'll head to the infield.
1/4 of the way through this one. 5 laps down, 15 circuits remaining. Manny Rockhold out in front in the Gould Racing car number 02.
Manny Rockhold, your leader, off turn 4. Leonard Lee rides second. Jason Johnson third. Peter Murphy fourth. Randy Anderson 5th. Larry Pinniger, Len Thompson, Matt Morrow, Kevin Fry, and Ronald Laney.
Your race leader 4 wheels above the cushion out of turn number 4. Leonard Lee right there up on the ragged edge as well, running in the 2nd spot.
Lap traffic ahead is Manny Rockhold riding on the high side of turn number 4. Traffic also up on the top of the racetrack.
Problems down the backstretch. Dwayne Bonini gets a little crossed up exiting turn number 2. Gathers the Vermeer number 72 back underneath him. We stay clean and green as the leaders approach lap traffic.
Manny Rockhold ready to work on traffic in turn 1. Looks at Larry Ball Jr. into turn number 2. Goes to the high side of turn 2. Here comes your race in that 2nd spot. Leonard Lee reeling him in. Goes nose to tail into turn 4.
Battle for the lead out of the 4th corner, headed down the front straightaway. Manny Rockhold hangs onto the spot off the low side of the speedway. Lap car of John Hagan directly in front of 2nd place running Leonard Lee.
Peter Murphy now starting to show some smoke off the car number 0 down the back straightaway. Your race still up for the lead. Leonard Lee gets ahead of steam into turn 4. Rockhold off the bottom side of turn 4.
Manny Rockhold's found something off the low side, exiting turn number 4, able to outdistance Leonard Lee down the front straightaway. Now puts Larry Ball Jr. between himself and the driver out of Milo, Iowa.
But Leonard Lee gets a good run, moves around. Now your race for the lead once again in turn 4. Leonard Lee pulls right up behind him, gets up over the cushion, exiting off turn 4.
Opens up the door for the Cajun sensation. Here comes Jason Johnson into the mix, and Peter Murphy trying to put John Hagan a lap down with a big slider into 1 and 2.
Peter Murphy's car still showing lots of smoke as it races around the high side of the speedway.
seeing two distinct grooves develop here now in this A main on the bottom and the top of turn number 4.
Oh, some fire off the car number 0, Peter Murphy.
Murphy running the Katie's Country Kitchen number 0 until it drops here this evening. Manny Rockhold able to put some distance between himself and second place running Leonard Lee.
Well, Manny Rockhold, Leonard Lee, Jason Johnson, Peter Murphy, Larry Pitteger now closing in the 4th spot. Randy Anderson riding 5th. Now as Len Thompson gets the 5th spot, Anderson back to 6th. Matt Morrow running 7th.
Laps winding down quickly, just 4 more circuits remaining in this preliminary feature event.
Will Peter Murphy's engine hang on to the end? Oh, Pitteger hard into the fence, allowing Len Thompson to take the position. Your race for 4th in turn 2. Now Larry Pitteger gathering it back in, takes back the 4th spot.
Pitteger ducks down low into 3 and 4, gets caught up behind the lap car of Dwayne Bonini Jr. Lightning Len Thompson up on the high side of the speedway, right on the back bumper of the Brady Truck Equipment 1L. White flag flies, half a mile to go for Manny Rockhold out in front. Leonard Lee back there. 3.6 seconds behind the leader as they race through 3 and 4.
They work through turns 3 and 4. Manny Rockhold goes to the high side of the speedway, this time by. Checkered flags out, your winner, Manny Rockhold. Leonard Lee comes home 2nd. Jason Johnson.
And as the pace truck once again drops him off on the backstretch. And as the green flag flies, Kerry Jones once again leads him down the front stretch. Now Tommy Tarleton again battling. Look at Peter Murphy up on the high side. Peter Murphy goes by Tarleton, and Jones takes the lead down the backstretch. Peter Murphy, your new leader. Look at Donnie Schatz. Donnie Schatz coming up from the back of the pack, already up to the 7th position. Schatz up to 7th. Donnie charging through the field. Schatz now puts the move on Brooke Tatnall and Christy Passmore. Schatz to 5th. Schatz now zooms past Kerry Jones, turn 3 and 4. Schatz up to the cushion, now runs 4th. Tommy Tarleton back up front. Tarleton your leader. Peter Murphy 2nd. And yellow on the speedway for the 12 of Brent Antill. As Brent Antill with the left rear tire completely gone on the Budweiser Medicap Pharmacy entry. And as the field now comes out of turn 4, Tommy Tarleton leads him into turn 1. Look at Donnie Schatz, goes right to the cushion. Donnie Schatz right to the cushion, working on the 2-car, Danny Smith. Schatz accelerates down the back straightaway now, wheel to wheel, Danny Smith chops him off, turn 3. Look at Donnie Schatz sliding up. Tarleton leads Peter Murphy 2nd. Here comes Donnie Schatz in 3rd, Danny Smith 4th. Passmore now at the 5th. Donnie Schatz, big slide jump, Peter Murphy. Donnie Schatz goes to 2nd. Tommy Tarleton still your leader, but here comes Donnie Schatz running the high side of the speedway. Donnie Schatz up on the cushion. Tommy Tarleton comes up the block. Now Tarleton back to the bottom. Donnie Schatz up on the cushion. And as they go by the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum, you got a new leader, Donnie Schatz. Schatz from 14th to 1st. Donnie Schatz leads, Tommy Tarleton second, Danny Smith in third, Peter Murphy fourth, and Christy Passmore rounds out your top five. A look at Danny Lasowski starting to move up. Lasowski up now to moves past Kerry Madsen for the 8th position. Lasowski up to 8th. As Donnie Schatz now stretching it out to almost a straightaway advantage over Tommy Tarleton and Danny Smith. Kerry Madsen now battles back to the inside of Danny Lasowski. That is the battle for the 8th position. As Madsen in the Van Der Ecken 10V continues to battle Lasowski. This time by halfway home for your leader. Halfway home for Donnie Schatz. As there you see Brooke Tatnall now putting a big slide job on Christy Passmore. Max Dumsley now battles back to the inside. 3-car race for the 5th position. Passmore now in 5th, Dumsley to 6th, and Brooke Tatnall back to 7th. Donnie Schatz now comes up to put a lap on Kerry Jones. Look at Danny Smith using the high side of the speedway, zooms around Tommy Tarleton for 2nd. Tarleton back to 3rd. Peter Murphy now 4th. Max Dumsley up to the inside of Christy Passmore, takes over the 5th position. Passmore back to 6th. Brooke Tatnall 7th, Daniel Lasowski 8th, and Kerry Madsen now runs in the 9th position. Chad Kemenoff, Jason Myers, and Skip Jackson round out your field. Donnie Schatz continues to stretch it out. Danny Smith now solidly in 2nd over Tommy Tarleton as they put a lap on Kerry Jones. A little further back, Peter Murphy in 4th. Christy Passmore now runs in 5th. Max Dumsley back to 6th as he battles with Brooke Tatnall. Tatnall up high, Max Dumsley now low, side by side through turns 3 and 4. Right behind that battle, Daniel Lasowski charging up from the back of the pack. Terry McCarl also coming up from the back, now up to 9th. As Christy Passmore gets into the fence, Lasowski tries to slide up and block Brooke Tatnall. Tatnall now goes to the inside of Christy Passmore. Tatnall takes over 5th. Excuse me, that was battle for 6th. Max Dumsley goes by Peter Murphy for the 4th position. Dumsley to 4th, Peter Murphy back to 5th. And as he comes out of turn number 4, sees the white flag. Donnie Schatz looks up, sees the white flag. A 1 to go for Donnie Schatz. As Schatz enters turn 2, Danny Smith hits the flag stand. Tommy Tarleton still runs 3rd. Donnie Schatz down to the low side of the speedway, nice and easy through turns 3 and 4. Comes off turn 4, Donnie Schatz. And as the fireworks go off, he completes another cool-down lap, picking up the win. Driving the Parker Stores Blue Beacon, Featherlight Coaches, number 15, Donnie Schatz.